Hey guys, welcome to another episode. We've got the Ford L65E on the crane. We're going in. If you didn't see last episode, that's going in first. We're going to sit it under there for my mate Matt to come bolt up the torque converter and everything like that. We've got the LS1. Today we are changing the sump over, 3021 sump from Holly. We got all the engine mounts, everything to go. We've got the gearbox and motor is going in this episode, so stick around. It's going to be good. I can't wait. Yo, welcome back. All right, we got the transmission in now. I'm not going to show you the whole thing going in, not about that stuff. Let's just get it done. So we've got that sitting in there at the moment. That's sitting on a jack under there, so I can slide back and forth. I'm just taking the tail shaft out because like it's in the way, and the bolts probably haven't been undone for 30 years or something. So I'm just got them WD-40 at the back. Maybe I'm just soft, I don't know, but that'll actually loosen up a bit soon. So we've got that in. So engine, it's on the engine stand. The reason I had to get the crane now, and that's why I used it to put the gearbox in instead of like lifting the car up later, is that when I bolted the engine stand to the engine, I actually bolted this one to here, which is actually part of the sump. So I tried to just undo one and move it around, but it wouldn't work, so I had to do that. Anyway, cut to the chase. We're into it now. I've undone all the bolts on the sump. We're about to lift it off. I went and got the camera, like, because the battery was charging because it was low, but I haven't lifted the sump off yet, and I want you guys to see what I see for the first time. So let's do that now. Fingers crossed. I don't know how good your view is, but it's just what we've got to do. All right. So let's get this off. Let's lift this off. Surely there's still one bolt connected somewhere that I haven't done. All right. Oh, that's, I don't know if that's good or bad. All right. You see, it actually, there's a bit of gunk in there, but it actually doesn't look that bad. The oil was pretty clean when I, let's get you a better view here. All right, there's me sump. So as you can see, there is some garbage and that in there, but that isn't too bad. I've seen some ones that people have opened up and it's just like full of crap. Like I said, this one was serviced well. It's probably looked after. It was driven hard, but it was looked after, so it's not too bad, eh? Like I was expecting a lot worse, to be honest. Alrighty, I want to put the camera back on charge. I'll get the windage tray off and stuff like that, and then we'll get the Holly gear out. We'll start looking at what we're going to do with that. Alright, so quick talk to go through a few things before I put the sump cover on. So, took the old one off, you saw, took the old pickup out. That was the front sump, so that was about here. So we've now got the new Holly 3021 sump pickup installed. So it goes on the same spot, but you need to take a notch out of the tray here. I won't go nuts on explaining all this to you because there's lots of videos on YouTube that will show you exactly what to do from proper mechanics, not an electrician like myself. What we've done, so I've installed that. I've torqued everything back up to specifications like the instructions. Just cleaning up around now to put the gasket and then to put the sump on top. I've got the new sump all set up with the baffle tray and everything in it. That's all ready to go, oil filter there. Yeah, other than that, we've already got the gasket. Matt got me that from his work. Like I said, I won't go too nuts into it because I'm not a mechanic, so. But looked pretty cool in there, like looked pretty good. I haven't looked in too many engines before. Didn't look too dirty or anything like that. So let's get this sump on, then we can get it in the engine bay. Sweet as. Yo, so we're about to put the engine mounts on. I got one on. Would you believe that I spent about 25 minutes looking for this when I showed it to you in the video before? And kicked around the floor, engine crane, engine stand, everything. It was on the desk, like where I was standing. 20 minutes. My wife would believe it because I lose absolutely everything. But let's put these on. The motor is pretty dirty at the moment, but I'm going to put these on just to show you. Then I'll probably give it like a gurney or something tomorrow. Let me clear all this this carport out. So straightforward. I'm sure you know how to drop a few bolts. Alright, we're going to wrap it up there for the day. So we didn't get the LS in today, but we're close. We're about 10 or 15 mil away. So we noticed I had the transmission sitting in here just while I did everything else, and it was resting on the sway bar. I remember saying the other day when I was talking to someone about it that I got to remove the sway bar just to give me enough room to slide it back and forth, but obviously forgot, and it actually helped getting it in this morning, give it something to sit on and like slide in. But I've loosened it all off now, and it gave me a few more, give me another like 20 mil to slide it back, but still not back far enough to fit the motor in. So it's about 3 o'clock now, so I'm going to start packing up. We've got to do some stuff, but we'll hopefully get this in tomorrow. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. What else did we do? Nothing really. I lost one of the bolts for the mounts for the engine mounts. For some reason the bolts that they sent us are not the right bolts for the block, so I'm using the existing ones, but the plates that were on it were like 10 mil and their plates are like 5 mil, so they're different lengths, so I had to cut them down and reuse them. But other than that, like, we're getting pretty close now to getting it in. So that's it all sitting there. You can see the sway bar just chilling underneath there. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty tight. Here's the motor ready to go. So we did got to give it a good clean up because it just looks like a bag of dicks at the moment. But yeah, new sump on the bottom there. There's the old gearbox. What else? I've actually been using like the engine crane through the old hole here to like help lift the box around. So other than that, just about ready to call it a day. I was pretty keen to get in today because I'm on the rush. So we're on a rush because my son is due this week, and we thought my wife went into labour the other night. Turns out she didn't, which is great. So give me a chance to do this. I need to get this motor in before he's born. So hopefully it doesn't come tonight. No, my luck, he probably will. But I want to get this motor sitting in here, so then when he's sleeping or both of them are sleeping, I can just come out here and start playing with the wiring. There's no big banging and stuff like that going on. But other than that, that's all it is for today, I reckon. So we'll pick it up tomorrow where we left off. Time to clean up this dump. Alright. Didn't record that because it took so long, so I ended up cutting the cable. Typical, eh? So I looked up a few ways how to take these out before I did it, so I sort of knew. So there's two like latches on the back here, and you like pop that one forward, and you should be able to pull this out. You can see. So mine pulls back, but it sort of bottoms out. It's not enough to get it out. I'm sure mechanics have probably had this before and probably laughing at me, but I couldn't get it out, and I spent just over an hour, I think, trying to get it out. So ain't nobody got time for that. So fuck, get rid of that dog. Alright, let's get the engine in. I'm actually really excited. I can't wait. I hope you're all keen to see it too. Let's do it. Alright guys, this is it. We're ready to go in. Got on the spot. It was a nightmare to get it off the engine stand again because the legs like clash, but made it work. We're ready to go in. The starter motor is going to have to come out to get the torque converter bolts in. I think Matt said we're going to do it that way, see how we go. But I just want to get it in. This should be easy enough to get from the bottom. Yeah, I'm pretty keen. Hopefully, like, as we drop it down, like these mounts should make it pretty easy to slide straight onto the existing ones. So I'm hoping that works well. Other than that, we'll drop it in now and just see how much room we got. Let's do it. We've got a special guest, Jimmy.
Fuck that off before it slides in.
Alright, you hold it off the wall. I'll use this fucking split pin. Hold up, hold that pin to move.
Yeah, that's a little bit fast.
Why does it lock on so much? Is it the pressure?
We go on top and bottom bolt.
The big bolt goes in the top?
Okay, yeah, we got the top bolt on this.
Is it in?
Yeah, it's touching it.
What am I hitting on? Fucking engine not. It usually drops a load. It usually drops a load leveler off as well, but it's fucking selfish.
See how it's touching?
Yeah. It's
What else can it hit? There's a silencer in it. Ah, I can see daylight.
Hey guys, so yeah, we've been playing around with the engine for a few hours now. I'm just cleaning up, but yep, she's in, as you can see. This probably won't be used on there, but we just put that in there just to see what it looks like. We got it all in, so it's all sitting on this engine mounts now. That's the height it's going to be. It can move forward and back about 30 mil, so we're not too sure at the moment. Reason being is that we have the transmission sitting probably like 20 mil just off the flywheel. The transmission needs to come up, so it needs to come up about 30 or 40 mil, but the tunnel of the body is stopping it from doing that. So I knew there would have to be some panel beating of some sort to fit it in there. I've even asked a couple of other guys that have done it. They said, you know, it's a lot of going in and out, like knocking that around. So a couple of options. We either just leave it in there and just continue as we go and get everything going, and then take it to my friend's workshop on a trailer where they've actually got the hoist and the transmission jack where you can, you know, use hydraulics and get it all in, because it actually weighs like 60 kilos. It's heavy as, and moving it under there isn't ideal by yourself as well. So it's either that option, or we start cutting out from the inside, because I can't get under there now. So I would just measure and cut sort of squares, and so we can get it up when we get to the height, bolt it on, and then later on we'll have to get some sheet metal and fab a few notches out and re-weld, and then we've got the vinyl floor in there anyway, so that covers it. So I'm not sure which option I'm going to go yet. Next problem would be the sump. So as I was saying in another video, I measured it all to make sure it's going to fit, and it's probably about 3 mil away from the cross member, except for on the drain plug side, where the sump is flat like that. On the drain plug side, it sort of comes down a little bit, obviously, so the oil can like drain out. So that's hitting the cross member, which is stopping the engine sitting perfectly level. So the measurement, I checked the measurements they give you on the Holly's website are to the bottom of the sump, not including the extra few mil for the plug. So a bit stitched up there, not too happy about that. But as Jimmy made a good point, as you saw Jimmy came earlier, that with the engine, you know, they're going to have a bit of play from side to side, so that 3 mil might not be ideal. So a couple of options there as well. We're going to have to, I'll get the camera down there and show you in a sec, but we either have to notch that out so to give it the clearance, or just fab a whole new one. Not too sure. I'll take that out so we can sit the engine in there and I can continue to do what I want, but that's something that we have to fix before obviously we get it going on the road. Other things, okay, next thing, extractors. So I haven't tried the driver's side because there's just so much stuff in the way. Passenger side, I can get them in there. Thing is, the car that this came out of was an off-road race car. It had an IFS front, but it didn't have torsion bars. It had like, you know, 10-inch, 12-inch coilovers in the front. So we have to sort of see where they land for the exhaust to match up to that. If it's not going to be ideal, we're either going to have to get some new ones made, or delete torsion bars and go coilover front, which I sort of thought of as well. So it's just adjustable, better shocks and stuff like that in the front. What else? That's pretty much it for the moment, but I'm stoked to have the motor in. Motor's in, baby's not born yet, which is sweet. So I'll get the camera and I'll show you a bit around. So, whoop. Just bear with me, I'm definitely not a camera guru. So, this is the clearance we got at the moment. Not much. We got about 50 mil, 60 mil. I think the radiator is about 70 mil, so we can slide that back. I knew it was going to be tight. We run the radiator, then thermo fans in the front. Alright, let's see if we can have a look at this sump. It's a bit dark now, but as you can see, it's sort of clear there, but on this side where the bolt is there is hitting. Not really sure if you can see down there, it's a bit dark, but that's something that's not too bad to sort out, you know. You can cut that cross member and cut and shut it or adjust something for it. Let's see if we can get underneath and have a look at the gearbox. So we got up here, so we got the gearbox and everything in, but see, you can't really see up here. She's hitting. We know it's going to hit. That's the rest of it. That's it. Lining up there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. She's in. I might get some closer photos of the firewall and stuff like that for you to see, like once I stop gas bagging. But pretty much in. We're set on the mounts. Just need to sort out that gearbox issue and stuff like that out. Need to measure up some radiators for the front, so I'll get onto that tonight. The ECU here, this is the ECU that came with it, so that's got to go in the back there with the wiring. What else? Oh, also, here's me mate, the handbrake. So Jimmy was just telling me, I told him how I couldn't get this outside, so I just cut it. But the instructions I read and watched in the video, it just said just unplug this, which is like your button to see if your handbrake's on or not. If you actually take this out, this allows this to fly up an extra like 5mm, which is the extra you need there to be able to pull it out. So I don't think I would have been able to do that under the dash. Not very handy under the dash, but it just goes to show like different brains find out different ways. Like he's a diesel mechanic by trade, and you know he sees stuff like that all the time and works out ways to get it out where I don't have much exposure to that sort of stuff. So other than that, we'll just sort of clean everything up now. Trying to figure out like how the exhaust is going to go, the radiator. We'll start looking at taking the wiring through, and we can start sort of like getting some panels and stuff now as well. Like so we're going full drive guards on the front, which means we need the different indicators, and then a new grille and bumper, just to try and make it look like a bit of a car again. I got the tub around the side, the SR5 tub to go on it with a new tailgate. Other than that, I'm stoked to have it in really, which is good. It went in pretty easy, really. There was a bit of stuffing around. We thought it wouldn't sit, wondering why it wouldn't sit right, and that's when we found the sump plug, dog and the boys. But now we might wrap the video up there, I think, and we'll start getting into, like I said, the wiring and like the radiator and everything like that in the next one. So like, subscribe, comment, any questions below, and yeah, have a good one.